Microwaves are very interesting because Dr. Frey has studied that for many years, and the Russians know about this, and Putin knows about this. And what happens is microwaves damage the temporal lobe of the brain and influence not only hearing, not only balance, but also behavior and
Very
brain
serious.
damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's very serious. Could be either way. It could be either way at this point, but definitely something like either sound waves or radio waves.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for stopping in. Purpose of this video is to examine President Joe Biden, now President Joe Biden's historic and unbelievable political comeback that dominated Super Tuesday. Out of nowhere, he was not even, I don't think he was even in the top. Bernie Sanders was in the lead, and I think Elizabeth Warren was behind him. But on Super Tuesday, out of nowhere, totally unexpected, totally outside of the polling, in confliction with the polling, Joe Biden won every state. So, well, why did that happen? Was it natural? Maybe. We'll stop in over here at Veterans Today, the journal for the clandestine community and military veterans in the United States. And we'll look at it, we'll read a little bit here. With a potential influence over 25 million people, all public opinions and elections could easily be manipulated. In fact, until we regain constitutional controls over this integrated weapons system, no public servant, politician, or military leader should be allowed to serve if they suffer from any sporadic or constant tinnitus as described. And of course, what they're talking about here is the microwave auditory effect, or microwave hearing. And the reason why I'm going to look at this in the context of what happened on Super Tuesday is because, as we know, of course, from the Pentagon's own testing, let's just have a little bit of a quick read here. The technology could be developed to the point where it could be transmitted to be heard like the spoken word, except that it would only be heard within a person's head. In one experiment, communication of the words from 1 to 10 using speech-modulated microwave energy was successfully demonstrated. Microphones next to the person experiencing the voice could not pick up the sound. Additional development of this would open up a wide range of possibilities. That's scary and very telling. So, of course, as we've determined in the past, and as Veterans Today has clearly stated, you can use a satellite to broadcast microwave energy if you can interact with every single water droplet here, if you can know the distance and range of those water droplets. According to the Pentagon, you can communicate with an individual, or according to Veterans Today, 25 million individuals all at once, and that was in 1985. So the reason why this is relevant, of course, is because if you have a sample of someone's voice on file, and we, of course, know the NSA was recording all phone conversations, not that they're guilty of anything, but just making an example here. They certainly have a sample of every single person's voice on file. If you have a sample of their voice, you can use deepfake technology to create what would, to the unsuspecting person, seem like just a thought that ran into their head. Like, I think I'll go vote for Joe Biden today. You can deliver that via satellite using the microwave auditory effect, or microwave hearing, according to the Pentagon, to tens of millions of people at once, and that was decades ago. So on Super Tuesday, and the reason why this is relevant is because, of course, Joe Biden is the police state darling. He's the guy who helped create all the legislation that filled up the privatized for-profit prisons. He helped create the militarized police state as we know it today. He's the candidate that they would want. So when it's sort of like motive and opportunity, right? The people who have the motive, they have a motive to get Joe Biden elected president, and they also have the opportunity using satellites. Every one of these can interact with tens of millions of people at once, just like the weather system. It looks just like weather satellites are doing right now. And let's put it that way. Essentially, the weather satellites are tracking every human being on Earth too. Their computer system just removed all the humans, you see. because they were looking, they just took out the humans and they looked at a certain altitude or for certain phenomena that the computer can separate out and show us without showing us. They're tracking all the humans, just unintentionally, right? So we know this is all, again, according to very credible sources, decades-old technology. So I thought it was incredibly odd when Joe Biden came out of nowhere and won on Super Tuesday, and it's the first thing I thought. He's exactly the person they would want. The people that want him have the technological capability to do that, and nobody would be the wiser. All of these people in these states on Super Tuesday could have just gotten all the same deep fake in their own voice. It seemed like an original thought, saying, hey, I think I'll go out and vote for Joe Biden today. And then they all did. And that's why Veterans Today and Dr. Robert Duncan said, with the potential influence over 25 million people, all public elections could easily be manipulated. So this is a situation where now, of course, because the entire, literally everybody, from the public safety people, from every doctor, the police, the Pentagon, are never brought this to our attention, even though these are the Pentagon's words, and they knew it in 1998. Because they never brought it to our attention, we are left to kind of play internet sleuth here, and try to look and determine where this type of thing could be used and where it would be very, very beneficial. Now, I'm not a Joe Biden fan or critic. I don't really. I'm more of a 10th Amendment center guy, in that I don't think either major political party has our interest in mind. They're both controlled by the ruling class, and again, I don't have anything against them, but they're puppets. They don't have your interest in mind, and they don't care about the working class or average Americans from either political party. They've just tricked us, most of us, into thinking that they do. So that's just something to consider here. When you have, and that's how it would be done. Using this technology, using a deep fake of the person's voice, and just a very simple message that they would never know wasn't an original thought. It's quite interesting, and wouldn't be surprising if it were being used on people on a large scale, quite frankly. All right, well, I hope you guys are all well. Some food for thought there. Everything's going to be linked in the description, and maybe soon we'll all wake up. Thank you.
Effectively buying a wide range of tools under the guise of terrorism preparedness. Of course, everything since 9/11, 2001, 9/11, so many years ago, almost 20 years ago, everything is to keep us safe. But if you think that they're trying to keep us safe, you have to remember that most of the time when they say this is for your safety, it's really meaning so we can control you, so we can monitor, so we can stalk you, so we can track and trace everything that we can possibly track and trace about you. So at some point in the future, we can use that information as a weapon against you. So they have been effectively buying a wide range of tools under the guise of terrorism preparedness in San Diego City Council without any meaningful vetting.